Yeah, I mean, I guess there are those people who move to California and say they miss the seasons in the East, but
You don't?
I, I'm just an observation.
So Matt, so what made you want to do a PowerPoint presentation? This is like kind of the thing you do, isn't it?
Well, you had asked me to do some live music, but I'm not really a live music person. You know, I'm more of a studio musician. So,
So
oh, cool.
I took care of the live music today. Don't worry.
Yeah, Matt wrote a theme song. Maybe later he can play it for you.
So I hope you can.
Oh, first screen sharing. Okay.
yep, now we can see it. Go ahead and fill the screen up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very nice.
Okay. So anyway, yeah. I told Pat that I'd do some, put something together for him, and sorry, I'm just sending that passcode to some people. But I really didn't know what to do, and so I just went ahead and put this PowerPoint together. Feel free to stop at any time and ask a question if you have any questions. And so I am in Rwanda here, if you're not familiar with where it is, but it's a part of East Africa. It's a part of the East African Union. Here's a map of Rwanda. This is Kigali, is kind of here in the middle. I'm up here in the north, up against the border with Uganda. I haven't really traveled much around the country. It's like I started working here, and then the coronavirus hit, and I've been on lockdown on this campus for about 5 months now. So I haven't really gotten around much. Just for an idea of the size of Rwanda, it's really small. Like this is Rwanda here overlaid with a map of Florida, and you can see that
It looks a lot like Florida.
It's shaped exactly like Florida.
It's like what a coincidence when you it's amazing.
Yeah. So it's kind of timely that I'm on the Pat Greene Coffee Hour. So I'm in a country that's exactly like Rwanda. But anyway, it's like driving from Tampa to Cocoa Beach. Which is the.
So you're probably right in the middle of Rwanda, right in central Florida, Orlando, right where we are in
That's
Florida.
true.
Too, then.
Yeah, that is true.
What a coincidence again.
And so I don't really know much about the pre-colonial history of Rwanda. I know that, it looks pretty interesting. There are 3 tribes in Rwanda: the Hutu, the Tutsi, and the Twa, who are sort of the forest people. But they were colonized by the Germans in the 1880s. And, and then after World War I, the Belgians took over the country, because the Germans lost World War I and they lost all their colonies. And this is the German chancellor of Rwanda leaving the country on a donkey after they left, And I just, kind of thought this photo was kind of fascinating, like, what is that guy thinking, like, you lost your country and you got to leave on a donkey, I don't know, like maybe he's glad to be leaving this kind of position.
Yeah, he could have been lucky to leave on a donkey. Maybe everybody else left in boxes.
Who knows? Yeah, I don't know.
That wasn't inappropriate, was it?
And so, but in Rwanda, there's still this house. It's called the Kant House, which you have to be careful pronouncing, And so, but it's probably one of the oldest buildings in Kigali. This old colonial outpost, but now it's being used for a lot of kind of interesting art exhibits. There was this one last year with several Afrofuturists, including this woman, Ingrid Lafleur. I think she's based in Detroit. I've been following her on Instagram for a while, but I really think
I
that
actually know who she is.
Stuff is cool, huh?
I know who she is.
Oh, really?
She's
cool.
pretty like a big activist in Detroit too.
Yeah. yeah, she had a really, really interesting installation there in the con house. Like it was this kind of space where you just sort of relaxed, and it was a really cool kind of vibe concept that she'd put together. And so, like I said, the campus is really far north, Rwanda. It's called the University of Global Health Equity. In sub-Saharan Africa, there's one doctor for every 10,000 people. And so one of the main goals of this campus, and there's a medical school here, is to take care of that inequity. And hence part of the name of the school is global equity. And so that's at least part of the mission of the campus. It was kind of the brainchild of this guy, Paul Farmer. I don't know if you guys have heard of him, but he's been really active in global health since the 80s. He's done a lot of work in Haiti. I think his organization, PIH, Partners in Health, it's based in Boston, and they even have a base in the Navajo reservation in the U.S. And then there's me, just sort of this Gen X hippie guy who just kind of ended up here.
What are you doing there, Matt?
I'm an assistant professor and doing instructional technology stuff. So my job has really changed a lot since the coronavirus, because everything's going online. I've been doing a lot of that kind of work. So, and this is kind of a typical student here. His name's Saddam. He's from the Congo. Grew up there. I think he lived in refugee camps for a lot of his life. He was a pro basketball player in Rwanda for a while, but he's like just this really cool guy. He's just graduating now from the master's program. And so he'll go out into the world and do some kind of global health, social work project. Rwanda's done really well with the coronavirus. They have like a leader that people listen to and, makes intelligent decisions and stuff. So they've done a really good job. I was just outside the university recently and took some of these photos, and you can see like people are wearing masks. I think this guy saw me coming and was like, "Oh man, I need to get my mask on." This is out the bigger part of town outside the campus, Rusumo. You can see people are wearing masks there. There's a couple of other people, wearing masks. So they're really taking it seriously. And they just installed this near the bus station. It's a hand washing station. So that's all new since the coronavirus outbreak. And so, but, this is the campus, it's really weird kind of architecture, just kind of plopped down in the middle of nowhere in rural Rwanda, to kind of combat those healthcare inequities. But, it looks like a James Bond sort of villain compound to me,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But and so part of that is what we were trying to, and one of the things that I've been thinking about is like, how do you now relate to the community in the area, because it is such a weird thing, just to put this really technologically advanced, unusual architecture place in the middle of nowhere, out in Rwanda. And so like, here's the entrance to the campus and here's the community just outside. It's called Kabyaza. And like, none of these buildings have electricity. A lot of them are bars, and so, there's a real difference between sort of the lifestyle of the people just outside and the way that we live, and one of the things I've been trying to do is sort of organically relate to the community more. And so, I've been, just go out walking and just kind of coming into these communities, and, they really haven't interacted with white people much. And so, it ends up with scenes like this where, everybody's like, wow, let's take some pictures of the white guy. And, like this guy's touching my face, this is pre-corona, so I don't know what that's all about really. But, some of those thoughts, some of that community activism or community kind of construction made me think a lot about some of the stuff that Pat and I did with the Virginia Heights Project back in the early 2000s, and about how you come up with these like playful ways to interact with community. And so, we were doing some things like that. Later on in Roanoke, I was doing some similar things like that too. But, and it's tricky, because, we are this sort of strange thing. And now, since coronavirus, we've all been on campus for 5 months. And so, we haven't even interacted with the community at all. We don't really know what they're thinking, and so it's sort of this strange relationship that we're going to have to work on once, all this Corona stuff is over. Since I've been on campus for 5 months, I think when it first happened, I was just really depressed and was watching like bad old 70s movies like The Towering Inferno and this one Swarm, where these bees were attacking America, and they combated them by using flamethrowers. I worked on my Philosophy Inc. website, which is the 20th anniversary. I watched all 5 seasons of Canon and put together a video of Canon. I helped with
how does Canon, Matt? How does Canon hold up?
Yeah. Not well. There's a point of it where I was like, okay, I guess tonight I'll just do a couple cannons. That was like I had my own slang.
It sounds like something in high school. I watched Canon and
yeah. Just pass out after doing a cannon. I've been making some videos. This was a video I made with a professor here. She's trying to get money for this protective footwear project, but there are a lot of volcanoes in the area, and when the volcanoes went off, I guess thousands of years ago, they left all these minerals in the ground, and so the women here don't wear protective shoes, and so they end up with this disease called podoconiosis, which makes the feet swell and makes it difficult to walk, and it's really gross. And so she's trying to figure out some way to combat that problem. I'm gonna help some of the med students film a music video. I've been having this local artist carve these heads of like, my friends. And so I have a Pat Greene head here. Like I give this guy these photos of people and he carves these heads. So, I was hoping that, I'd be able to come back to America at some point, and give these sculptures out to people. So, but.
Media profiles?
Huh?
I think Lewis wants a photo of this wooden head.
Yeah. It's very nice.
So, been doing some ancestry work. I got back on Facebook after a 3-year absence, and I get things like this now I got back on there because my mom is on, and she's like, "Congratulations, man." And I'm like, what mother talks like that,
Hey, dude.
Hey, dude, I remember when you were a baby. But I went back to Kigali a couple of weeks ago. It's a really beautiful, clean city, easy to get around, really safe. Right now, there's a 9 p.m. curfew, which kind of sucks. I stayed at this hotel. It's a really beautiful place. It's owned by this Swedish guy who's been here since like 1975, and he was telling me all these stories about driving around Africa in a VW Beetle in the 70s and stuff. Like, really interesting dude. I was thinking about buying a house here. Like, you can buy something like this for like $50,000, which
Wow.
seems pretty amazing. And I don't know, when all this is over, I want to go to Burundi. Like, it's a country that like you never hear of, but like this is a photo of Burundi. It looks like so beautiful, like this is Lake Tanganyika. So I'm looking forward to doing something like that. I really wanted to travel more, but this coronavirus has really screwed everything up. And this is just a photo from campus. So, but that's what I've got. Sorry.
Are you getting vacation days you're piling up vacation days?
I don't really know. I don't know.
all the administration left, so there's nobody to ask any questions.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. There was a time when there were only three faculty members here. It was me, and just a couple of other people.
So
And,
could you do your job now anywhere?
yeah, yeah.
So you could be driving around Africa and just like get on your laptop?
I guess so. Yeah.
That's looks like a very beautiful place.
Yeah, it is. It's really nice.
So they're actually handling the virus pretty well, though.
Yeah, yeah. They seem to be. I think there've been less than 10 deaths here. I think the cases are in the thousands total. Since April, and which is really crazy because when it first started, I thought that we were really going to be screwed. Because it's one of the most densely populated countries in the world. So I just was certain that it would just ravage this place. But they've done a really good job. They shut down everything once it started, like the airports. There was no travel between cities and towns. Lots of testing, and so they've really done I think a phenomenal job for like a small, not a wealthy country.
Yeah.
So.
Well, what do you think you'll stay quite a while, or depending on what's going on there, the world situation?
I'd like to get back to the U.S. at some point this year. It just, I'm just not sure what travel will be like.
You mean go back to stay or just to visit?
Just to visit. Yeah.
Well, Matt.
So you guys are doing this every Saturday, or?
Yeah. Well, we could Zoom you in. You could watch it on Instagram or Facebook, actually. That might be a better way.
Oh, okay.
I asked
all the technologies.
I asked Tess Bonacci to show her films next week.
Next time we'll have
okay.
it hooked up.
Yeah,
Zoom.
yeah.
So it'll just be, we won't have to do any of this stuff.
Have you watched her films?
I have seen a little bit of like her and Alex, like those. Yeah, they're hilarious. Yeah. Yeah.
Promising young film director in town. We're gonna have on.
For sure. Yeah.
A lot of hidden talent. Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Matt, I think we're
Okay.
gonna wind down here, but I appreciate your
All right, guys. Yeah.
your PowerPoint presentation and your presence.
No.
Thanks
No,
for
thank
the
you.
information about Rwanda.
Sure.
I
Anytime.
miss you, my friend.
Yeah, I miss you, man. Like to make it back there sometime.
We'll make a reunion.
All right, buddy.
I'll see you, man. I'm gonna clip you out of here.